What's up guys, Ray here with another episode of What's New Japan for you in what is a special Tokusatsu themed week. Now Adam kind of did a version of this for last year's What's New Japan about this time last year, but I've decided to do it for this year, and instead of talking about the anime that's coming out in Japan right now as we speak, I'm going to talk to you about some Tokusatsu stuff that's come out either fairly recently in Japan or is coming out very soon. So without further ado, let's get started. First up on my list for this week is Juden Sentai Kyorunja vs Go Busters Dinosaur Great Battle Farewell Eternal Friends. This is the versus movie for the last series of Super Sentai, which was Juden Sentai Kyorunja. Every year they do a versus movie where they have the team from the series that's just finished fight against the team that was in Super Sentai the year before. This one's going to be a very special versus movie because Kyorunja was the third dinosaur-themed Sentai team that we've had after Zyuranger and Upper Ranger. And as such, we actually get to see all three dinosaur Sentai teams come together and fight the giant evil baddie that happens at the end of the movie, I assume. I don't actually know the synopsis of the film, but it's pretty straightforward. It always follows the same set. Another thing that is exciting about this one is that it will give us a first look at the next Sentai team that will be airing in Japan this year, which I will get to a bit later on in this episode. But absolutely, if you're a fan of Super Sentai or if you're a fan of Power Rangers, chances are you'll probably like this movie. Definitely go check it out. Saban has just announced what the next series of Power Rangers is going to be, so they're actually skipping over Go Busters and they're going straight to adapt Kyorunja. So yeah, definitely check this one out because you're not really going to get a chance to see the Go Busters on an English release, pretty much. Next up on my list is the flip side of Japanese Tokusatsu, which is Kamen Rider. And this one is called Kamen Rider X Kamen Rider Gaim and Wizard, the Fateful Sengoku Movie Battle.
Kamen Rider Gaim and Wizard 天下分け目の戦国ムービー大合戦12月14日奇跡の大変身を見逃すな
Now again, I'm not entirely sure about the synopsis of this because even though it came out 2 months ago, I haven't really been able to find much information on it, and I really don't want to spoil the movie for myself by reading about it. But pretty much it looks like there's a huge battle between most of the new Kamen Rider. I'd probably say the Kamen Rider from the Heishi era, so that's about 13 years, I'm not entirely sure. But it looks like there's going to be a huge battle between all of them, and it's set in the Sengoku period, so samurais and swords and all that, because that's amazing, and it's Japanese Tokusatsu. It's going to be over the top, it's going to be nuts, it's going to be absolutely crazy, and I highly recommend that you go see this if you are, again, a fan of Japanese Tokusatsu. Chances are you may not know Kamen Rider as well as you know Super Sentai, because America has not really had much success with adapting Kamen Rider for an English-speaking audience. But still, it's a great series, and I definitely recommend you check it out. Finally on my list for this week is the Super Sentai team that I mentioned earlier. The latest one, the one that's going to be airing on Japanese televisions this year. It actually starts airing on February 16th, so that is going to be this Sunday in Japan, so probably our Monday or something, but it is called Resha Sentai Tokyunja.
夢の鉄道ヒーローがいよいよ出発進行勝利のイマジネーション新番組列車戦隊特急じゃ2月16日日曜朝7時30分スタート
It's a really big deal because it's a train themed Sentai, and in the 38 years that we've had Super Sentai, there's never been a train themed Sentai. There's been trains that have popped up as part of mecha, as random things in the background and as methods of transportation, but we have never actually had a train-themed Sentai. Heck, even Kamen Rider had a train in Kamen Rider Den-O. but it's pretty good. The costumes look absolutely hilarious, and it seems that they've actually toned down the silliness after Juden Sentai Kyorunja with because that series was absolutely nuts and off the wall and yelling and samba and dancing and everything. But this one looks like it's taking it a little bit more of a serious route, but it's still got a lot of the funny stuff and great stuff that makes it lovable to people of all ages. So definitely check that one out. Yeah, like I said, it airs this weekend, so if you can get yourself to Japan before this weekend, I definitely recommend checking out Russian Sentai Tokyunja. So at the end of a Tokusatsu themed week for What's New Japan, I've told you about the new Super Sentai movie where two teams battle it out against each other before they realize they have no differences to settle, and that they form together to defeat the evil baddie. I told you about a Kamen Rider movie, which sounds like nearly every single Kamen Rider from the last 13 years is up against the two latest ones. And I've told you about the 38th installment in the Super Sentai series, Russian Sentai Tokyunja. Hopefully you enjoy Tokusatsu, because if you don't, then nothing I've really recommended to you this week is going to really appeal to you. But I'll be back next week with more anime-related goodness, and hopefully we won't have another Tokusatsu week of What's New Japan for a little bit. But I'm Ray. This has been What's New Japan. Catch you on the flip side.